Yo, what is good everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for Thursday, November 10th, and we got ourselves a 10-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to break down a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and of course we'll wrap up the video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. You can see 6 of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6.5, and then the other 4 games all coming in at 6 goals. And then take a look behind me there, I got the Vegas odds listed, where you can see each team who is favored to win here tonight. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. We got Jenner centering Gaudreau and Laine. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are once again one of the worst teams in the NHL, at least have been so far to start the year, but there is a lot of talent and upside here with these 3 forwards, and they're relatively affordable considering the upside that they do have. 3 guys who are definitely capable of getting on the score sheet multiple times. And I love the matchup here tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. I know the Flyers have gotten outstanding goaltending so far this year, but they're not a very good team overall. In fact, they're allowing almost 36 shots on net per game to their opponents, which is the 3rd most so far this season. And these 3 here have strong correlation. Not only do they play big minutes together 5-on-5, they all play on that number 1 power play too. Now, I feel like I could highlight the Boston Bruins first line or second line on any given night, especially considering how well they're playing to start the year. Tonight we're going to highlight the second line because I do like the value that we get here, especially with Krejci and Taylor Hall. Now, obviously, Pastrnak is expensive at $9,200, but when you fit those other 2 in your lineup, it all kind of evens out. You're going to get exposure on the number 1 power play with Krejci and Pastrnak. Hall plays down on the second, but that Bruins number 1 power play has been lethal here as of late, scoring at almost a 37% rate in their past 4 games. And this Calgary Flames team, again, I know they look good on paper, but they've really struggled here to start this season. In their past 6 games, they've allowed 3.83 goals per game. That's the 8th most in the NHL during that stretch of games, with a penalty kill that is hit at just a 75% rate. So this looks like another good matchup for the Bruins here tonight at home for them to continue their hot start to the season. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays there, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're already 1 month into the NHL season, but still a long way to go, and I'm going to have hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. For those of you who are on Discord, I got a channel where we're talking some puck as well, if you want to join that, link in the description below. And for those of you who are on Twitter, if you want to give me a follow there, I'm occasionally posting some NHL bets as well. Alright, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards, and there is a lot to love about the forward position on this 10-game slate here tonight. A lot of top-tier talent. One of my favorite top-tier plays is Nathan MacKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche, off to a great start this season. 3 goals, 16 assists, 19 points in 11 games. He's playing good at home, he's playing good on the road. He's played 4 home games so far this year with 7 assists, 18 shots on net, averaging over 4 shots on net per game, and averaging close to 18.5 DraftKings points per game. This is a guy who plays 20-plus minutes per night, plays on the first line, and plays on the number 1 power play. One of the best ceilings on this 10-game slate. And has a good matchup at home here tonight against the Nashville Predators, who have not been great defensively here over their past 5 games, allowing 3.80 goals per game. It's a 10th most in the NHL. Now, don't be surprised if I highlight Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils a lot this year, probably with Jesper Bratt, with those guys on that second line and number 1 power play. Hughes has got tremendous upside, and he only seems to get better with each and every game, each and every season. He's already got 12 points in 13 games this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 90-plus on the season, as long as he remains healthy. Now, he's got 1 goal, 5 assists here in his past 5 games, so he's trending well lately, and he's got a good matchup at home here tonight against the Ottawa Senators, another team that has not been very good defensively here as of late, allowing 4.40 goals per game in their past 5. That's the 4th most in the NHL. And we're going back to the Minnesota kid in Brock Nelson tonight of the New York Islanders. His price is getting a little more expensive at $6,000, but rightfully so. Playing some really good hockey here as of late. In his past 7 games, he's racked up 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. And I love the way he's shooting the puck right now, averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game. And another guy who's got a great home matchup here tonight against the Arizona Coyotes, who we all know are, again, one of the worst teams in the NHL this year, allowing 3.83 goals so far this season. That is the 5th most. Nelson is going to play on that second line, but plays up on the number 1 power play and should log around 18, 19 plus minutes here tonight. Now, I'm going to keep banging the drum of playing Adrian Kempe this year until that finally wears out. And look, I know he hasn't been at his best here as of late, hasn't had a point here in 4 straight games, but I still love his upside, especially at this price here at $5,200. This is definitely a guy who's got multiple point upside, can score multiple goals in the same game, and I love for him to get back on track here tonight at home against the Chicago Blackhawks, another team that has just not been good this year, one of the least talented teams in the NHL. They're in rebuild mode for sure, and their penalty kill has just been abysmal here as of late, just hitting at a 60% rate in their past 5 games. We're going to see Kempe play up on that first line and play on the number 1 power play, and they should get on the power play, the Kings, a handful of times here tonight because the Blackhawks average around 4.33 minor penalties per game. And that's really kind of the approach here with Jordan Kyrou as well. St. Louis Blues are slumping. He's only got 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points in 11 games, but I really like the price here, $4,600, and I do like the matchup at home here tonight for the Blues to get back on track against the San Jose Sharks, another team that is just not very good. They've allowed 4 goals per game here in their past 4, and Jordan Kyrou is a guy that's coming off of a season where he had 27 goals and averaged over a point per game. So $4,600, I will take the value, even though I know this Blues team and him haven't been all that great so far this year. And then I got Owen Tippett there of the Philadelphia Flyers. I was really hoping we'd get him in the 3K range once again, but considering he's playing up on that first line with Konechny and Hayes, as well as that number 1 power play, it makes sense for him to be at least in the low 4K range. Now, he's only played 7 games so far this year, started the season on the IR, but has 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points in those 7 games, and has shown some really nice upside, as he should, playing on that first line and number 1 power play, and he's got a great matchup here against this Columbus Blue Jackets team, who has just been awful to start the season, allowing the most goals in the NHL per game at 4.58, and they're allowing a handful of shots as well at 35.5 per game. So Columbus, not very good. This could be a game that we kind of just stack up in general, as it could be one of those sloppy, high-scoring games that we see from 2 bad teams. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, and there are a lot of top-tier defensemen on this 10-game slate that I have no issue spending up for. We got Cale Makar, Roman Josi, Rasmus Dahlin, and what looks to be the resurrected Erik Karlsson. I like Dougie Hamilton as well of the New Jersey Devils. I talked about it earlier with Jack Hughes, how much I like the matchup at home against the Ottawa Senators, who have really struggled defensively here as of late. And that Ottawa team is not afraid to take penalties. They're averaging around 4.5 minor penalties per game, and Dougie Hamilton's going to play up on that number 1 power play and should log around 22, 23 plus minutes here tonight. So you could just stack him and Jack Hughes up if you wanted to, or kind of stack that number 1 power play in general, maybe mix in a Jesper Bratt. Needless to say, I do like the matchup at home here tonight for the Devils against Ottawa. Now, I know the Carolina Hurricanes just played in Florida last night, and I haven't seen an official word yet, but due to the hurricane out east, it sounds like they might have had to travel back home here this morning. Not ideal by any means, so keep an eye out for that. Like I said, I haven't seen anything official. I hope they traveled back last night, because I do like the matchup at home here tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes against this Edmonton Oilers team, who just struggles defensively. We know McDavid and Draisaitl can keep any game tight scoring because they put up so many points, but just a team that is not very good on the back end and don't have great goaltending. In their past 6 games, they've allowed 3.83 goals per game, 7th most in the NHL with a really struggling penalty kill that's hit at just a 62% rate. Burns should log about 22 plus minutes here tonight, and he plays on that number 1 power play. So like I said, I do like the matchup. I just hope the traveling went well for Carolina last night. I then got Torrey Krug there at $4,100 of the St. Louis Blues, but I'm not going to lie, I'm not really thrilled at the value defenseman here tonight. Really anything below 6K, I mean, there's some solid plays out there for sure, but DraftKings priced up a lot of these defensemen that really shouldn't be, so I struggled to find the normal value plays that I usually can. I got a handful of honorable mentions there in the 3K range, even McDonough at 2.6K. Torrey Krug, due to the matchup against the San Jose Sharks, who allow a lot of goals, I do like him at $4,100. But he's by no means my favorite play. But he does log around 20 minutes per night, so gets some really solid ice time and plays on the number 1 power play. The Sharks have actually been very good on the penalty kill this year and don't take a lot of penalties, so I'm not really banking on the Blues power play. I'm banking on them to score 5-on-5 because, again, the Sharks not very good defensively. And then I got Ben Chiarot. I don't know, man. That kind of shows you the value we have on this slate. Ben Chiarot at $3,600. Really, Griff? That's who I'm highlighting. But he was one of the better value plays, someone who can get you double-digit DraftKings points. In fact, he's actually done that here in 3 straight games, hitting 11.2, 12.1, and 13.3. He's kind of doing that a number of different ways as well. He's shooting the puck quite a bit. He's got 11 shots on net here in his past 3 games, and he's got 7 block shots as well, while getting on the score sheet with 1 assist. He's going to play around 22 plus minutes here tonight, does play on that number 2 power play, and plays on the penalty kill. So the ice time and the scenarios opportunity, all that good for Ben Chiarot. I just can't believe I'm highlighting this guy on my spreadsheet here today. But I do like the goaltenders here tonight. Defensemen, not great. Love the forwards, love the goalies as well. I'll pay up for Linus Ullmark of the Boston Bruins. He's been great this year with a 9-1-0 record, a goals allowed average of 2.05, and a save percentage of .932, with 4.9 goals save above expected, which is the 10th best in the NHL. Bruins are just hot right now, and whenever they play at home, I definitely like them. And then Igor Shesterkin here at $7,400 is far too cheap in my opinion. Sure, he hasn't been at his best this year, certainly not playing like the Vezina goaltender we saw last year, but he's still elite. He's 6-2-2 so far this year with a goals allowed average at 2.58 and a save percentage of .910. Again, not fantastic numbers by any means, but he's Igor Shesterkin. He's one of the best goaltenders in the NHL, and he's got 2.9 goal save above expected, and I don't mind the road matchup here against the Detroit Red Wings. Rangers are favored to win for what it's worth. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Trevor Moore of the Los Angeles Kings, who's currently playing on that second line in number 2 power play. He's got 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 7 home games so far this year, and he's actually second on this LA team in expected goals, so the opportunity has definitely been there for him, and again, I do like the matchup at home here tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. Next there is Robert Thomas of the St. Louis Blues, currently playing up on that first line in number 1 power play. I don't know why I put number 2 power play, because he is sure as hell on that number 1 power play. We're going on the fly here today. He's got 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points through 11 games. But again, just a great opportunity play for the Blues to get back on track here tonight at home against this Sharks team. And then Kyle Palmieri there at $3,600. Plays on that third line for the New York Islanders, playing up on the number 1 power play. Has started to find his groove here over the past 5 games with 3 goals and 2 assists, 5 points, and again, a great matchup for them at home here tonight against the Arizona Coyotes. And then to wrap up this video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. Love these big slates, the 10 to 12 game slates. We get a lot of picks to choose from, and prize picks usually slips up on a couple of these lines. We've certainly been a lot more successful on these big slates. Now, unfortunately, as I record here today, they only have props out right now for 3 of these games, but one that is definitely sticking out to me is Jack Hughes above 3.5 shots on net. The Ottawa Senators have given up a lot of shots on goal to opponents here as of late, but I'm going to wait for the rest of these picks to come out. Like I said, only picks out for 3 games right now. I'll do my research and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video, and again, I'm posting them on Discord too, so if you want to join that, link in the description below. Now, for those of you who have not signed up for prize picks yet but want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely be taking advantage of. When you sign up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prizepicks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Now, folks, take advantage of it because they're legit going to match that deposit right away. You don't have to earn it back as a bonus like some of these other DFS sites. Let's say you put $100 in today, Prizepicks will match that right off the bat, so you're legit playing with free money or house money on your first set of picks. Again, all you need to do is use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 10-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.